Welcome back to Ben Rants, and when I was a kid, people used phones to call other people. In the business world, the way a company looks is beneficial for the company's success. If a company is recognizable, then more people are more likely to be interested in them. Also, TV networks are what air on TV and broadcast shows we like. Some channels have variety in programming, but others tend to be for a specific audience, making them special from other channels. And finally, advertising is what could make or break a company. Companies need advertising to get themselves recognized and to drive potential consumers in. And finally, change is mandatory for the business world, as businesses change all the time. There are times when changes aren't needed, and that is the subject of today's rant. I get really annoyed at when a recognizable symbol I've known since childhood has changed, when networks decide to air programming away from its specified broadcast schedule, and when I see a commercial that doesn't make me want to buy a product. So, get ready to be bored at what probably may be the most boring rant ever. Here's my rant on logos, networks, and commercials. Now, let me explain before I start the rant. I know you may think of me as the biggest idiot in the world to rant on this topic, but, like I said, logos are just as important to a business as the product. The logo could make or break a product because it could drive the consumers to buy them. Also, this rant is somewhat important. Anyway, like I said, each company has a specific logo that helps people recognize them. And people grow attached to the logo and they get used to seeing it everywhere. And of course, the logo might change over time, but I feel if a company finds a logo that is their most creativity driven, then I feel that they should keep it at that. However, as of recently, a lot of businesses feel that they should change their logos just for the heck of it. It's just annoying. You just got used to one logo, but then they change it, and now you have to get used to the new one. Come on, cut us some slack, will ya? Some big examples I could think of is Pepsi. This is the old Pepsi logo I remember growing up with. Wow, this looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I feel that this is the best logo they've had, and they should have kept this. They decided to change it to this. Wow, this is just boring. The Pepsi circle is really not as great as it used to be, and the word is really bland as well. Yeah, this makes me want to buy this soda. You see, I really don't think they really needed to change the logo. There was nothing wrong with the previous one. This is why I don't drink Pepsi products. Wait a minute, I don't even drink soda at all. Anyway, Pepsi is just a big example of a company that changed their logo. Now, let's move from soda to paper towels. Yep, you remember the old Brawny man? Yeah, this guy was awesome. He had a mustache and everything. He looks like he knows what he's doing. I know I would want to have this guy's paper towels cleaning up my messes, but, of course, they had to change him as well. Yep, take a look at who he got replaced with. Wow, this guy doesn't look like he has much experience with paper towels. He doesn't even have a mustache. Everybody knows mustaches make guys 20% cooler. Yeah, the only thing I would want to do with this guy's paper towels is burn them. Bottom line, changing logos could be necessary sometimes, but if nobody's complaining about how the logo looks, then leave it alone. It helps us to know the product, and we're used to them looking a certain way, so quit changing them! We now move on to the next part of the rant, networks. TV networks are what air shows that we love to watch. Cartoon Network gives us a heaping help of cartoons, Comedy Central gives us a wide variety of hilarious shows, MTV gives us a daily dose of music, and Animal Planet teaches us in a fun way about animals we love and some we're afraid of. Wait a minute, I forgot. This isn't the 90s anymore. These channels aren't anything like this in today's society. A lot of TV channels have decided to shy away from what made them special, airing programming that has nothing to do with what the channels claim to be about. A big example of this is MTV. It used to be called Music Television. However, it soon started to drift away from the all-music video format, but its programming still had a huge focus on music. But the programming soon turned into nothing but dumb reality shows. Yeah, because I watch a channel about music to watch shows about pregnant teens, teen werewolves and silent libraries. Boring! Man, MTV used to be a groundbreaker, but not anymore. Now it's just a teenage wasteland. Well, at least they're bringing back Beavis and Butthead. That'll be the only time I watch this channel. An example of a channel that used to be good was Animal Planet. This channel launched when I was a lad, and it became one of my favorite channels when I wasn't watching the kid channels. Being a huge animal lover, I loved watching animals do what they do, and it was awesome. However, Animal Planet went from being a channel about animals to being a channel about people. I'm not kidding. Animal Planet now airs programming that is about people rather than animals. There's Pit Boss, a dumb reality show about little people trying to save pit bulls. I Shouldn't Be Alive, which isn't even about animals. And some dumb Mike Tyson show. Yeah, because when I think about animals, I think of a boxer who likes to bite people's ears off. Why, Animal Planet? You were also a groundbreaker, a channel dedicated to animals. You had to go with the flow of dumb programming. Oh, and your new logo sucks too. Next, we move on to Comedy Central, a channel that used to give us some of the funniest programs ever and featured several acts of our favorite stand-up comedians. However, Comedy Central also took a dip for the worst as their programming has become not funny, but idiotic. A big example of this is Tosh.0, an overrated show where a guy is using the internet to be funny. All the jokes he makes are really crude, and a lot of the videos he shows are really, really gross. And honestly, do we really need a show about a guy making fun of internet videos? We can do that on our own time. We don't need a show to do that for us. Not to mention, Daniel Tosh acts like the biggest man-child you could ever meet. Even more than me. Hey, wait a minute. Bottom line, Comedy Central has also taken a dive, with its only redeeming quality being new South Park episodes. And Comedy Central's new logo sucks as well. These channels are examples as to why channels are going down the drain because they choose to false advertise themselves. More examples are History Channel is starting to have shows that have nothing to do with history. G4 doesn't even come close to having anything video game related on their station. And TV Land is nothing but The Nanny and Everybody Loves Raymond reruns. Which moves us to the last part of the rant, commercials. Like I've said before, I'm a fan of old commercials. They're creative, edgy, funny, clever, and overall a fun time. Commercials used to actually do their jobs back then. Advertise a product and make you want to buy it. Commercials these days only do the first part of the previous statement. They feel like there's just no effort put into them, and all they're saying is, you see this? This is a piece of junk you don't need. Buy it! And that's about it! Come on! Put some creativity in there, will ya? Jeez, what a way to run a railroad. A big example of this is cereal commercials. Don't you remember seeing Tony the Tiger being an inspiration to kids everywhere? Don't you remember Buzz Bee solving problems with Honey Nut Cheerios? Don't you remember the Trix Rabbit being denied cereal? Yeah, I hope you remember these, because these types of commercials aren't being aired anymore. One of the things that made cereals fun isn't even being shown anymore. I'm not kidding. Every time I watch some commercials, I never see any cereal commercials. Sure, I see Fruit Loops commercials and some for healthy cereals, but that's it. Instead, they air commercials that tell us how healthy cereal is. A big example of this was when I saw a commercial that was about how Kellogg's cereals now have 3 grams of fiber per serving. Boring. I don't eat cereal for fiber. I eat cereal because it tastes good. And the commercials starring the mascots help justify how awesome they are. But no, we're stuck with these dull commercials about nutritional values. Yep. What? Is cereal so unhealthy that you can't advertise them to little kids? You can only advertise how healthy they are? What a joke. You know, a bowl of the most unhealthiest cereal is still better for your kid than other things they could be eating for breakfast, such as sausage, pancakes, frozen waffles, and even eggs to a certain extent aren't that good for you, unless you're looking to build up your cholesterol levels. So, you people are numbskulls. Anyway, modern commercials are the perfect time to use the restroom during a program. They just lacked the creativity and imagination that made them fun when I was growing up. Honestly, the only modern commercials I like are Geico commercials and Super Bowl commercials, but even those seem lacking. And there is my rant on logos, networks, and commercials. I believe if you want to run a successful business, you gotta stick with a good logo so people will recognize you. And you gotta learn to advertise yourself to the public by making them want to buy your product, not being bored to tears. And if you're a TV channel that's dedicated to certain programming, then stick with it! Don't just change your programming to the same horse crap we get on every other channel. This rant is going to tick several people off, and I know a bunch of pear sprites are going to eat me alive, but these are my videos and I can make fun of whatever I want. And if some of you decide to make more commentaries on me, I have a very famous quote by a fellow Illinois citizen, Abraham Lincoln, to sum up my thoughts on them. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. I'm Ben and I'm signing out. Stock up on boxes of Count Chocula before they disappear. Chocolate!